and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and I thought we'd do a bit more of a WIP chat. I still have questions from the post I put up asking before the last WIP chat, so I thought we'd carry on with that. I am currently, I've started or pulled out my large Minions painting. This one is it's been on hold a little bit while I've been working on the customs and also working on a small painting. But I did finish the smaller painting last night, which will be a dekitting coming up in the following week. And the customs, I'm saving the reveal of those until they're all done. So I thought I'll pull out my Minions and do a little section on this while having a little WIP chat, because my next one's not kitted up yet. So when I tend to work on these Diamond Art Club that have a lot of black outlines, I do like to do my black first. It defines, the lines or the sections that I need to do. So I'm going to start with the black, though there's not as much on this section. And I am using a new tip. I purchased some Everlasting tips in their sale in January, and I haven't actually used this one yet. So I have loaded it up with wax, but I may find that I need to refill it a bit more than I often do. We'll see how it goes. So questions wise, the next one is from Janet. So she said, with all the new diamond painting accessories that have come out over the past couple of years, would you be able to do a new needs versus wants video in the future? Yes, that is something that has been floating around as I could do with doing video. I've got a few different ideas that I think as could be videos that will be good to do. I need to re-watch the one I did, the needs versus wants I originally did, which was quite a while ago, just to remind myself on how I did the video and the basis of it. But yeah, that is something that I think I will do. There are quite a few accessories that are available that I don't have, or I did have but I've never used, so I'll pass them on. So I do need to look into whether there's any accessories that is worth me getting for that video. But yeah, it is definitely something that I'm thinking of doing at some point. Hopefully, I'm not sure when, but I will try and fit that one into the mix a little bit sooner. Okay, so Cheryl then asked, what ideas do you have for making your special diamonds and ABs pretty? So that video actually went up yesterday when I sorted out my specials and my ABs. So they're still grouped by colour. They're still grouped by type and very generic with my specials. I find that works for me, putting them away. But I have given my ABs their original DMC number. And since the video was made, ready to go up, we have actually brought out Diamond Art Club AB colours on stickers for the shop. So the numbers, if you don't want to use the conversion to convert them to the DMC number. I think I'm going to keep it as DMC number, even though those stickers were created after I'd done that storage. But the reason for that is I know I do have ABs from the likes of Row Diamonds, and they use DMC numbers for theirs. So the DMC number would keep it generic no matter which brand it was from. Shave off the extra bits of wax that are splurting out. Sandra, so she said, have you used the everlasting tips you ordered and what do you think of them? She's finding that the wax keeps coming out of them. Tried both red and blue wax. Any tips? So yes, I have used them. This is currently one. This has got both the straightener, of which I didn't order many, and the full tip. I have also used the smaller tips that just replace the little brass piece. I've used those as well. I find when I first start using it, I actually have to dip it into my wax 2 to 3 times to sort of push it all the way down into the nib so that I can then, you know, carry on. I found that I have to do that whether it be with the pink or the blue wax. Both of them tend to be the same. I've not found, it's probably far too many than what I actually need. I've not found it to be a problem once I've done that. I do find I might have to refill it more, but I don't tend to find it comes out if I, you know, in effect push quite a bit into the tip to start off with. It might squeeze out the sides while it finds the shape for the diamonds, which is what had just happened with this one. But I don't find that I lose it. It doesn't come out in one big clunk or anything. Okay, sorry, I've got a very fiddly little area here that has got the odd section where it's just 1 diamond or 2 diamonds. What's next? Number 8. That's 4. Let's see if I can just fish 4 out the pot. So my wax is quite fresh, so it's often easier to sort of just dip the pen into the pot and pick them up when the wax is fresher. But then if there's quite a few more, I prefer to tip them out. So yeah, I've not found a problem with them. I have heard some people are preferring micro glue dots in their pen tips, regardless of whether they're everlasting tips or not. They are finding that they last longer, but I've not tried that yet. I probably should. I do have some glue dots, but they're not small ones. I would have to cut them. So I don't know whether to just get some micro dots and try it that way. I'm not totally sure yet. Okay, Jen has asked, do you think you'll make any items for your shop? And what is the biggest, most colours you've ever done in a diamond painting? In regards to the shop, yes, we are always, you know, thinking of new items or taking, you know, suggestions and requests from you guys for new stuff for the shop. So one of the most recent was the AB colours, so the numbers that Diamond Art Club use for ABs. So in this painting, I've got a yellow 130 and a blue 137. Diamond Art Club do have a conversion to DMC, but sometimes some people, for example, who maybe do a lot of Diamond Art Club or only really do Diamond Art Club paintings, you know, they won't be as interested in converting if they're the only ABs they use. It takes a step out of the equation. So we have recently created those as sort of a sheet you can choose to purchase to go alongside the standard DMC numbers. We do constantly have thoughts and ideas of what may work, and quite often it's time that makes that, not always come into practice as quick as we want. I have, quite limited space to store some stock, i.e. things that may be more bulky. So yeah, any ideas and suggestions, especially for any types of stickers, organisation, we'll always see what we can do. In relation to that, we may look at bringing out, new designs or things that are a little bit different in the future. At the moment, we are still concentrating on the trays. That is our sort of main goal at the moment. The pre-orders are closed off now, so the pre-orders for the trays have been closed so that we have an opportunity to get through the orders that we do have. As much as, people wanted pre-orders for the trays, which is why we put that option up on the website, I am very much a person that likes to get somebody's order out as soon as possible after they have ordered. I understand, the excitement and I very much like to get orders out as soon as I can once they've been ordered. So to have orders that are waiting for us to be able to print them is not my ideal world. It's not the outcome I prefer. So we have closed pre-orders while we get through them. The printers are currently printing the last order from the 17th of April before it moves on to orders from the 18th. And that's British summertime timings. Depending on what country you were in, you may have ordered on the 17th, but it actually showed up to us on the 18th, depending on your time zone. But we are very nearly on orders from the 18th. It is bank holiday weekend this weekend in the UK, so all the orders that we get printed over the next couple of days will all go out on Tuesday. So it may well be that your order is ready and packed, but it has not been shipped yet due to the bank holiday. So we have a nice little pile ready to go as soon as we can. But yeah, I'm always up for new ideas for the shop, any ideas that, things that you guys want. If it's something that we can put into practice, we will do our best as and when we can find the time. I mean, when we did the AB, sort of the design of the stickers, we had the basics. We already had the diamond that goes on the stickers, and that template side of things had already been done. But it actually took me a lot longer to get the website images ready than it did for me to get the files ready to print, which was a bit of a turnaround. Normally it's getting the files ready to print that takes all of our time, and getting, all the information inputted so that it comes out the way we want it to. But a lot of the work was already done for that this time. So it was creating the website images that took a very big chunk of time. And you can imagine there is a lot of different colours and options of stickers that we already have, and we wanted to bring out the AB range for them all. So it took time, but we get there. We do get there. As I said, I think last time, trays wise, we do have a few different colours in-house that we are looking at, getting production started on those once the pre-orders are done. At the moment, that is our priority, to get those out as soon as possible. I even arrange the post office runs quite often around when the printer's due to finish. And many trays are packed hot off the press, even though they don't come off the printer hot as such. They are all set and in their shape, they do end up being packed quite often within 15 minutes of being printed. But yeah, give us your ideas below. Megan, or Megan, depending on how you want to pronounce it, it's spelt Megan. Do you have an all-time favourite painting, and if so, which one? Yes, I think my all-time favourite would probably be my blossom tree that I have up in my front room. I do have quite a few that are close behind that, and they do tend to be ones that are displayed in my house in various locations. But if I had to pick, it probably would be that one. And I didn't necessarily expect it to be that one. When I was working on it originally, I got it because I wanted to work on a big painting. I just think how it turned out and the effect of it and how it looks up on the wall, yeah, it's just sold my love for it completely. Linda has asked, what is your favourite, round drills or square drills? She's just started, and my first one is square, and it's hard to do, and she actually doesn't have enough of one particular drill either. I like both. A couple of years ago, I probably would have said that my favourite was squares. While the first two that I did were round, when I then did a square, I loved the finished effect of it. And I still do think potentially I prefer the finished effect of a square. But I do really enjoy working on rounds, and the sparkle that you can get off some round ones is amazing. I think now it's probably more 50-50 or maybe 60-40, maybe even 55-45, slightly swaying more towards squares, but still loving rounds. And I do really like it when I sort of am working on two paintings that mix it up. I do find I can work on rounds a little bit quicker than squares. You know, there's no sort of lining things up as much, but I do love my squares as well. Save my memory card before it shouts at me. If you're working on your first square, I do suggest, you know, that you take it slower. You do need to realise that squares can take longer than rounds. It does take a little bit longer to build up your speed with squares, because you've got to sort of, the way you've got to line them up. But I wouldn't necessarily give up. Squares do look nice when they're done, and you do get quite a sense of accomplishment when they are finished, or at least I do. I like the look when they're all finished. Tip with these, somebody did say that they keep forgetting to put their stopper back in the diamond painting tray. I don't let go of my stopper until it's back in the diamond painting tray, because I too, when I first started using a tray with a stopper, I too did the same thing, and I would leave the stopper out and forget to put it back in. And yeah, I had far too many accidents. So now I keep the stopper in my hand until it is back in the tray. And that's the only way I can find that I don't do it anymore. I don't have the same problem. Oh, my screen's gone. Okay. Ria has asked, how did you meet your husband? I met him at school. Well, while he went to the same school as me, he is 2 years older. So at the time we met, he had left school. But I did meet him outside of our school with some mutual friends. So yeah, quite a few years ago. I'm not going to count how many years because that's quite frightening. But yeah, we met back in, it'll have been 93, 94. We started dating in 1994. We may have met in 1993. But it may have been 94 actually. Might have all been 94. I forget the months. It was so many years ago. And I only remember the year partly because that was the year I left school as well. But yeah, we met then and we've been together ever since for both of our sins. Louise has asked, what other things are you getting for your shop? I'd say at the moment, as said before, there are a few ideas floating about. We have implemented many of those ideas, though we will constantly be looking at, other things that will be beneficial, will be, different or unique. We do like things that are unique. We like to come up with ideas that then help people, rather than buying something in bulk and just being an in-between. Like to try and be a little bit different. So I do have a couple more ideas. Well, we constantly have ideas floating around in my head, but I do have a couple more that are sort of more up front and centre. And that is something that, will get worked on over time, as said before. The priority at the moment is the trays. I want to get the trays to a point where there is stock in the shop for people to be able to order as and when they want. So I see quite a few months of our two little printers working their heart out. At the moment, you can sign up for an email notification when they are back in stock. We are keeping an eye on that, on the amount of email notifications that are requested, so that once pre-orders are done, we will try and get a stock level to a level that will hopefully allow anybody on that list to be able to purchase one. But of course, we will continue printing after that, and it's only once those settle down and that stock of the basic trays is set that we'll look at any other colours. There's definitely other colours in mind because I have them sat here on the shelf in the filament waiting. Cindy has asked, besides diamond painting and cross stitch, what are some of your other favourite pastimes? So reading is one. I do like a good book. I have recently switched a bit more to audio books. I am a member of Audible so that I can get at least one book a month on that. And I think I've switched to Audible for a couple of reasons. So I am one of these people that when I pick up a book, no matter what time of day I have picked up that book, quite often I find it hard to put down. I have been known to be up till 3 a.m. reading a book and finishing a book because that's the only way I can then put it down. So Audible can help me in a couple of ways because I did tend to read quite fast. So you would find that some of the setting the scene paragraphs where people weren't talking, I would skip those and I would only catch them on my second read through because I'm too busy wanting to know how it ends and what the storyline is in the first read through. So moving to audiobooks helps me to actually get, the full enjoyment of the book on the first sitting. Also, it has, because it is an audiobook and it is read to you, it has a time frame, which means when it's midnight and I can see that there is 13 hours left in the book or 10 hours left in the book, I can do the math and determine that that is not a suitable amount of time to be awake. And therefore that would make me pause at the end of the next chapter and go to bed and actually get a decent night's sleep. So it's helped in that way. Also, I can listen to an audiobook and diamond paint at the same time, which means I can combine two. So quite often I will either watch TV or watch YouTube while diamond painting, or I'll listen to an audiobook, sort of depending what's on the TV, whether hubby's watching, something that I'm interested in or maybe not interested in. I can always put an audiobook on my headphones and listen to that. So reading is one. Scrapbooking is another, though that is currently paused-ish. I think a lot of it is because the kids are older. I have a lot of scrapbooking albums. I started when my son was a baby. He is now 19. So I scrapbooked for 19 years, scrapbooking so many of, their childhood photos, pre-digital for some of them. So I scrapbooked pretty much every single photo that was ever taken of them. I have multiple albums for the kids. I did a Project Life version of scrapbooking where it's more of the everyday. I did that for a few years. So I have a few years worth of snapshots of our everyday life and absolutely loved it. I think it just waned off a little bit. Diamond painting took my interest a bit more, but that may change when and if I'm blessed with any grandchildren. Then I think that will change, and I may well find that I pick that up as a hobby as well. I still do have all of my basic supplies. I have whittled things down and kept my more expensive / the items that are used all the time. And I have kept a few paper collections that are my favourites, so that should I ever want to pick it up again, I have the items to do that. But I have whittled down on, some of the other items that are a little bit more, what's the word? A little bit more in season or not. So a little bit more of a current trend. I have sort of, moved out and sold on some of those, which gives me space in my craft room for my diamond painting as well. And that means that I can still keep everything to be able to do the hobby. It's never a never, but that has taken the back burner now for a few years. Having said that, I've taken a few years off from scrapbooking before and got back into it full flow. Life can sometimes get quite busy, but at the moment it is diamond painting. Diamond painting primarily with reading and a little bit of cross stitch, though that tends to be more in winter. I don't know what it is about curling up on the cold winter nights and doing a little bit of cross stitch. Though having said that, this past week or so I haven't been diamond painting anywhere near as much as I normally do. Hence I've not had as many de-kitting and kitting up videos. I've just had so much going on and so much up and down and making sure that pre-orders and stuff get out, that I haven't had the energy a lot of the time. Okay, my next colour coming across here is actually my AB colour. Oh, and I've just realised I missed one up there. I like to do my ABs at the end when I'm doing a Diamond Art Club. So I tend to do black first if it's a painting that has a lot of black bits in it, like this one does, a lot of, you know, outside edges. I like to do the black in my section first, and I like to do the ABs last. So I think I'll move and fill in the rest of this bit here, and then I'll do some of these colours that are not. I've got one more question on the post from last week where I asked for your diamond painting questions. I'm just going to move my chair out the way. I was on a chair, but I think I want to be stood up for a little bit. So Zara has asked, with the diamond paintings you get for Fan Sales Friday, are they sent to you each week, or do you have a collection already built up to choose from? So Fan Sales asked me probably on a monthly-ish basis to pick items from their shop, and they send them all at once. So while I unbox 3 per Fan Sales Friday, I do tend to get sent about a month's worth at once. Quite often with some of the other companies, they tend to send me, say, 6 items at once, which is the equivalent of 2 videos. And I tend to, when it gets to the point where I need, you know, I don't have an unboxing video ready, then I will spend a bit of extra time filming that particular week, and I will do all of the unboxings at once. So I will have multiple videos ready to go up that may be, you know, I think I did it a couple of weekends ago, I think. I did sort of a big day of just doing unboxings. All I filmed all day were unboxings. And I got most of the videos done for May in that day. I got unboxed all the parcels from all the different companies that had been sent to me, which meant that I could then choose the paintings that, you know, I wanted to keep to potentially do in the future, of which, you know, there may be 1 or 2 out of each shipment. And then I was able to get some giveaway boxes ready, which I did a birthday giveaway, and those 5 boxes were from the unboxings that I did the other weekend. So they are for what items that you will see coming up in the month of May. Some of them I've kept, some of them I've passed on in the giveaway. I have just had a parcel arrive again from Fan Sales, ready for, I think, the last week in May and the beginning of June. So that will probably sit there until I need that video, or until I'm sort of in the mood for doing a lot more filming, and I will get those unboxed, and I'll do the same thing again. I'll sort of get, you know, work out what selection I want to add into my stash, label them up, add them in, and then do giveaway boxes for the rest. Some go to family and friends, some go in the giveaway boxes. And then it'll be giveaway time again. And it works. It does really work. It also helps that come each weekend, when I get my filming done, because of course I work full time through the week, and most evenings are taken with packing orders and responding to email inquiries and all that sort of stuff. It means that come the weekend, I have a video to do for Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday and Thursday, Sometimes Wednesday, because while I do an unboxing on Wednesday, that doesn't tend to, it's not very often that that's an item that's been given to me. That tends to be an item that I've purchased from various, more independent retailers than these bigger companies in China that are often the same company. Many of them are intertwined. I think a lot of them are the same company, however, they're based on different audiences. So while anybody can order from Fansales, FG Normal, all those places, the initial currency is targeted at a different audience. So Fansales is primarily in UK pounds. You can convert to dollars and you can purchase from them, but their target website, I think, and their default is UK pounds. But then there are other websites where their default is euro for Europe, or for many in Europe. And then there are some that their main price, their primary price, or the P's, is in dollars. And I think that's the reason that there's multiples of them. I mean, I don't know, it's their business setup, not mine. But they're the differences that I tend to see straight up when you go on the website. Before you tell it what currency you want to see things in, it tends to have a default, and they tend to be different between each one. The setup of the website can be different between a few of them, but primarily the products are roughly the same. They seem to have different teams managing them, so there are different people I speak to via email from each company. And, the person I speak to quite often, as far as I can tell, it is the one that does, the uploading and making sure the items are there. And that can vary slightly between each website. So I think it's just a matter of a different look to catch a different clientele, maybe. I don't know, but I tend to restrict those sites that are all very similar to the unboxings on a Monday and a Friday. A Wednesday's unboxing tends to be places I've purchased from. Occasionally it will be something that I've been gifted, but it will tend to be a unique company, more of a specialist in their own field company, and I'll always let you know if it's been something that I've been gifted rather than purchased. But I do still purchase a few things. The unboxing this week, which I've not yet opened because this video is the first priority, is a new product from Diamond Studio Art that I am rather excited over, and I was hoping it would be here for last week, but my UPS driver decided that he didn't want to deliver to me last Wednesday, and I got it last Thursday. So yeah, I'm rather excited for that one. I have got a few other things. I'm just moving this over because my line's not straight. And then I've left a gap, so we'll do it again. Make sure I keep all my sticky covered. Yeah, then I have ordered a few other different things that I want to look at and review, so do keep an eye out for them. I have a Heaven and Earth design canvas on its way. Well, in fact, it may be more than one. We have those on its way. I want to see what they're like. I did hear somebody say that there was another unboxing, or at least one other unboxing. Somebody had unboxed it on YouTube, but I've not actually watched that. I want to see for myself. I want to form my own opinion on it, and I'm quite excited to get that one. As a potential to maybe use up some more of my spares in the future, though I'll have to, look fully at the design to see how that will work. But yeah, to answer your question, to answer the question I was asked, I tend to get them in bulk from fan sales, and I just pick 3. I never know which 3 it is. If, maybe there's been an item that's been out of stock, or maybe my contacts added in an extra item or 2, that is new that I may not have seen. Sometimes some of those will stay unpackaged, waiting for my next parcel to arrive to even out the numbers. But I tend to go on the basis of 3 items. And I like to sort of mix it up if I can. So when I first open a package, if it has a few off the canvas items that tend to be that you can see what they are before you open them, I like to, vary those up between the diamond paintings themselves. Spread it out a little bit. My memory card nearly got me and saved on me then. But yeah, hopefully, that helps you sort of understand how I film and work the YouTube. I did think I was going to end up with no video for last Thursday. I didn't have a de-kitting or a kitting up because I haven't diamond painted as much. Some of the other video ideas that I've got needed a bit more pre-planning, or, a little bit more work before I'm able to do them. And a couple of the ideas I have are like mini series that I'm thinking of doing. So for example, currently on a Saturday I'm doing making my spare storage pretty. So I've got a couple of ideas of things to follow that. Once my storage is all done, I want to bring in, another form of series. I've also got my WIP and Chat through the month of June. I am going to be doing a WIP and Chat a day. I do have scheduled a preparing my canvas ready for that a couple of weeks before it starts, to give everybody else a chance to prepare theirs. So that will be up in a week or 2, I think, and we'll get that done. I've not done it yet, but we'll get that done. But yeah, Thursday I did think it was going to be one of those days where I was like, don't have anything. But then an idea popped in my head, so I rolled with it. But yeah, do keep your ideas for videos coming. If it is something that's practical and it is something that I can do, then I'll do my best. I will do my best. Okay, so the only colour I have left now is, where's the lid for that gone? Where have I managed to put the lid for that one? Oh, it's fell down here. Under my easel. The only ones I have left now are the ABs. Now, I do find with AB diamonds, because of their coating, sometimes that can pull the wax out of your pen, or it can occasionally pull the coating off the diamond. So I do like to use, and I have got used to using now, my pretty placer with ABs. So bear with me while I grab that. Okay, so this is my pretty placer, which is a crayon, a diamond painting crayon full of wax. I prefer this for my ABs because it is a little bit tackier than the rest, than the sort of pink wax, and of course it doesn't pull out of the pen because the whole thing is made of it. The only thing I do find is it is not as good if you need to sort of scoot the diamond across. Maybe you've put it in the wrong place like I just did then. It's like I planned it. they're not as good for that. So I do tend to have either my pen or in turn my fingernail on hand to nudge a diamond in place if I need to. If I have quite a tight fit where, you know, maybe some of the diamonds I've placed around it are a little bit too close and not leaving enough of a gap, it can also struggle with that as well. But in general, the picking up and putting down of the ABs is a lot better with this pretty placer. So I tend to keep it in my tools, but I do end up finding that I do go through every now and then pushing diamonds down or making them click into place. I've not yet worked with this with a square painting. I don't know how well it will work with a square. It will push down a certain amount, but I found that, you know, the nib of the crayon doesn't like being pushed down on hard, and sometimes that is what you need if, you know, you tend to push down a bit harder if you're trying to move it into the right place or if you're trying to fit it into a gap, and it's not as keen on that. But overall it does well, and then every now and then I just flatten it down again to make sure that they are all fully set in place, because I'm not pressing as hard as I am with something else. Let me see if I can zoom you in for this bit. I spent most of it zoomed out on that one, didn't I? Which I don't normally do. Okay, that is as zoomed in as my camera will go. And it's very similar to working with a pen, but normally I would use a pen to nudge that into the corner because I placed it in the wrong place. I'm not as keen to do that with this crayon because I feel like I'll end up ruining the crayon. And you can resharpen these, you know, when you do need to give yourself that point back. But they're not the cheapest. The shipping is more because they're from the States. I wasn't overly keen with their responses to questions I asked. I didn't truly believe what was stated, so I don't particularly want to be ordering more. So let's keep this one going as long as I possibly can. But it does do the job for this. I haven't tested yet sort of this pencil. Where is it? And I can't, have I put it somewhere else? I know I have. Oh no, they're here. I have these pencils that at least, oh, it's not even focusing because I'm putting it too close to the camera. These pencils that I think it was Melissa sent them to me that have sort of wax inside that you can sharpen. I do need to give those a go as well, because if they work, then I'll be set for the rest of my diamond painting life, more than likely. But that is all the questions I did have on that WIP and Chat question post. So I do thank everybody who asked them both for last time. Well, it was the same questions, but everybody that asked the questions that were covered in this WIP and Chat and the last one. I will be asking for more for the month of June, where I will be WIP and waffling for quite a while, every day for a month. Give you plenty of time to get all your questions out. But congratulations to our 5 giveaway winners for my birthday giveaway. I have been in contact with all 5 winners. Their first names are detailed. I put it in the comment section on my birthday post. I did put their first names in there so that you knew the people that had won. I haven't put second names because of privacy reasons for them. You know, they signed up for a giveaway. not for their full name to be plastered all over the internet. That's their choice to do. So if they want to reply and show their full name, they can. But yeah, I have been in contact with them all. They have all now got back in touch with me. Some of the parcels are already on their way. They were sent out on Friday. The last two are due to go out next week. Now I've got their addresses. I just need to sort out what we have. This time we have 3 going to America. We have 1 going to South Africa. And we have 1 going to the UK. So a little bit of a variety. We've had last couple of giveaways, we've had all sorts. We've had, did we have Argentina, Iceland, a few different places in the States. We've had Canada. We've had some UK, different areas in the UK. Oh, there's been all sorts of places that they've gone to. But yeah, they are winging their way across the world, some of them, as we speak. Hopefully USPS treats them kindly, because I have found recently that some of the parcels from the shop, I don't know what USPS are playing at the moment. They've had over a year to get used to COVID, and I'm not sure if it is COVID or whether there's something bigger going on over there. I don't know, maybe an American can sort of let me know if there's something going on that's not quite as known, but parcels are taking a long time if they're involved. For some of them are taking far too long. I've even had parcels coming from the States that I've paid for tracking for, and oh my goodness me, it bounces all over the country before it even gets to the point where it gets out of the country. Once it hits the UK, it will be with me within 2 days. It just really struggles to get to the UK. I'm not sure what's going on. I know somebody did post in the Facebook group a tracking of one of their parcels as an internal, or I'm not sure if it came from external or came from internal, but oh, it bounced all over her state before it finally got to her. So I do apologise for anybody in America who is waiting for parcels. Please do just bear with us. It is not anything we can control. It is the United States Postal Service at the moment. It is, I don't know if it's overwhelmed or if something else has gone on, but they are really struggling at the moment. But so far everything is turning up. It is, they're not losing parcels. They're just, taking them on a little road trip, I'm guessing, before they get where they're going. But they are all turning up, albeit later than they should. Anyway, that is my next section of my Minions done. I thank you so much for joining me for this WIP Chat, which I now need to get processed and uploaded. But do stay tuned. Next week, what have I got to film today for next week? We have a dekitting. I have finished my smaller painting, which means I will need the app to decide what I'm doing next. Hopefully it will pick me a nice one. I have an unboxing of an absolutely gorgeous image that I fell in love with and decided I had to have it. And we also have next week, we have the sorting out of my Heaven and Earth Design spares. That is probably going to be a long video. We'll see if it ends up being too big a project for one weekend. I've not got to that yet. Let me get the rest of them done first, but do stay tuned for all of those. Of course, we have also got unboxings from fan sales and from some other companies. If you want to see the images that are out there and see what they look like. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.